The doctor has found us a buyer. That would take months, and we can't... Okay?
Hi, I-25 Movie Recap here. Today, I will recap a movie called Wild Things 3. Wild Things 3 is a 2005 American thriller sex drama film. This film tells the story of a high school student willing to make love with a threesome to get a diamond stolen by her stepfather. Okay, what's the continuation of the story? Batten down the hatches because we are going in hard. This is a spoiler content video. Enjoy the video and let's start the story. The film shows a beautiful girl named Marie looking at the diamond inherited from her dead mother. These two diamonds are known as daughter and mother diamonds. So Marie has the right to own the diamond when she is 18 years old. But when she is 18, it turns out that her stepfather does not want to give the diamonds to Marie because he wants to have them too. Marie is angry and goes to school annoyed. At their school, a detective from the police tells about the crime that is rampant in the city. Detective Kristen had been bullied when she was young, so she tells her story. After that, Marie takes part in a diving competition. Her stepfather is also there, but instead, he approaches a poor girl from Marie's school named Elena. Marie's stepfather invites Elena to Marie's birthday party. Long story short, Marie's birthday party starts. There she sees her stepfather, who is being billed about his building project, which is still unfinished. But when Marie approaches him, he keeps quiet and avoids Marie. Suddenly, Elena comes to the party, but it seems that Marie hates Elena and immediately starts fighting. So Marie's stepfather breaks up the party, and he defends Elena and takes Elena to his office. He then teases Elena, and finally, he manages to enjoy her bottom cave. The next day, Marie asks for her diamond because she is 18 years old now, but her stepfather still doesn't want to give the diamonds. When leaving the house, there are already policemen waiting for Marie's stepfather because they received a report from Elena that she was raped yesterday. Finally, he is arrested. On the other hand, Elena continues to be interrogated by Detective Kristen about yesterday's incident, and Detective Kristen believes Elena's words because she has experienced them. In contrast, her coworker, Detective Morrison, doesn't believe Elena's confession. Then the trial starts. Dr. Chad tells the results of the examination. He explains that a bite wound is found on Elena's breast and a mark that her bottom cave has stabbed. Finally, Marie's stepfather is found guilty. Marie then comes to her stepfather and gives him the advice to bribe Elena with money because Elena is a poor girl and needs money. But Marie's stepfather says that he has no money now. He has a lot of debt and doesn't know where to get the money from. Marie then says, "We still have those two diamonds. I can help you by selling mine." Marie's stepfather then thanks Marie for her help, so he signs and allows Marie to take her inheritance. The next day, Marie calls Elena and tells her to go to Marie's house. When she gets home, it is very dark, and there is no one there, and suddenly Marie comes with a happy face and says, "I got my diamonds inheritance." It turns out that this is the plan of the two of them to take the diamonds that her stepfather takes, and they then kiss. While having fun making love, suddenly Dr. Chad comes. It turns out that Chad's doctor is the one who helped them falsify the evidence. Finally, the three of them make love in the swimming pool. Dr. Chad manages to enjoy two bottom caves in one time. On the other hand, Detective Kristen and Detective Morrison feel there is something strange about this case. When they re-watch Elena's confession, Detective Kristen realizes that everything Elena said is precisely the same as what she had experienced when she was young, so she thinks this is impossible to be a coincidence. There must be something behind all this. Meanwhile, Marie's stepfather does not even get relief because Elena refuses the money. Finally, Marie's stepfather realizes that Marie has tricked him because she only wants to take the diamonds. In the evening, Detective Kristen and Detective Morrison go to Elena's house, but Elena isn't home, so they break into Elena's house without permission. Inside the house, they find old newspapers that contain reports of rape cases experienced by Detective Kristen's. So it turns out that Elena did collect news about Detective Kristen's. That's why everything Elena said is the same as what happened to Detective Kristen's. Then it looks like Marie and Elena, who have mastered the two diamonds, they both feel horny, and there is a lesbian version of making love scene. The next day, Detective Kristen and Detective Morrison go to Marie's stepfather. They all realize that Elena and Marie work together to get the diamonds. They also discover that there must be someone else helping them. Then we see Elena, who has just returned home and realizes that someone has entered her house without permission. Elena is very panicked and immediately meets Marie at school. Marie then manages to calm her down by doing another lesbian version of making love scene. When returning from school, Detective Kristen and Detective Morrison visit Marie. They also reveal all their suspicions to Marie, but Marie still dodges and leaves them. After that, Detective Kristen and Detective Morrison went to see Dr. Chad. They reveal all their suspicions to Dr. Chad until finally, Dr. Chad jumps in by admitting that the wound on Elena's breast is from Marie's behavior. Detective Kristen and Detective Morrison immediately leave because they have received the answer to this case. Meanwhile, Dr. Chad panics and goes to see Marie. Dr. Chad then gives her a drink containing sleeping pills, and when Marie shows the diamonds to Dr. Chad, she falls and is unconscious. Dr. Chad immediately calls a man who will buy the diamond for $4 million for 2 diamonds. They will meet at 9 tomorrow morning. The next day, when Marie wakes up, she immediately calls Elena and intends to pursue him together. Elena then chases Dr. Chad with her hovercraft, while Marie plans to hit Dr. Chad with her car. However, Dr. Chad manages to avoid and goes into the forest. And unfortunately, when Marie and Elena get in there, Dr. Chad is already not in his car, so they go into the deeper woods. Elena then realizes that she is more than 10 miles from the police station, so Elena has a tracking device at her feet because she used to use narcotics, but she isn't arrested because she is still in high school, so Elena is only fitted with a tracking device so she wouldn't run away. On the other hand, Detective Kristen and Detective Morrison, who are chatting, suddenly feel horny and then make love, but just as they are making love, Elena's tracking alarm sounds because she is very far from the police station. Finally, Detective Kristen and Detective Morrison are after Elena according to her tracking device. Marie and Elena split up to look for Dr. Chad in the forest until finally, Dr. Chad manages to catch Elena. But luckily, Marie comes quickly and kills Dr. Chad right away. Marie then tells Elena to put Dr. Chad's body into her car, so it is as if he has an accident, while Marie leaves Elena with the excuse that she wants to sell the diamonds because she has an appointment with the buyer. Here I think it's a shame that Marie frames Elena because not long after, Detective Kristen and Detective Morrison comes and sees Elena beside Dr. Chad's car. They then take Elena for interrogation. Meanwhile, Marie meets the buyer of the diamonds, but the buyer says that the diamonds are fake, so Marie fails to sell the diamonds. Back to Elena. They keep asking Elena, "Why did you kill Dr. Chad?" Elena is very depressed, so she is honest by saying that she didn't kill Dr. Chad but Marie. Detective Kristen and Detective Morrison then set up a plan by using Elena to extract evidence directly from Marie's own confession. They give Elena a recording device in her clothing. She then invites Marie to meet up. There Marie says that she already knew where the real diamond is, which is in her stepfather's safe. So Marie tells Elena to cancel the punishment demands to Marie's stepfather on the condition that her stepfather has to give her the code from the safe. Finally, they meet her stepfather and he agrees to give her the safe code as long as he can get out of here. After that, they rush to his father's office and open the safe. After getting the real diamonds, Elena then throws away her recording device and threatens Marie with a gun, then takes the 2 diamonds and then runs away. On the other hand, Detective Kristen and Detective Morrison panic because their disguise is discovered, even though Elena herself deliberately threw away her recording device. So Detective Morrison goes in there and tells Detective Kristen to wait in the car, but Detective Kristen doesn't want to stay in the car. Finally, she takes a shotgun and goes into the building. Marie is looking for Elena, who has run away hiding. In the end, Elena is stuck and there is no other way to run. But when Marie manages to find Elena, suddenly Detective Kristen comes and shoots Marie with a shotgun. Marie instantly dies on the spot. After that, Detective Morrison asks Elena, "Are you sure there are no diamonds in the safe?" Elena then says, "No." That's why Marie got very angry. Wow, she's smart. Elena is lying. Finally, Detective Kristen then takes Elena and she promises to bring her back to the office tomorrow morning. But the next morning, it's 11 o'clock. Detective Kristen and Elena haven't arrived yet. And suddenly Detective Morrison is arrested by his superior for allegedly stealing money from evidence in the police vault. Why is that so? Curious. So here's the explanation. Then it is seen Detective Kristen and Elena who have mastered 2 diamonds, namely the mother and daughter diamonds, and it is revealed that Detective Kristen and Elena are the mother and daughter who has planned all this. it turns out there is also Marie's stepfather who working with them to seize the diamond belonging to them. But it turns out that it is Marie's stepfather who has raped Detective Kristen when she was young, and Elena is the daughter of their past. And it turns out that this is how Detective Kristen takes revenge. She then gives a drink to him containing poison, and finally he dies. And it turns out that Elena has never been caught in a narcotics case, so her tracking device is a tracking device that she and her mother made so that she knows where Elena is. And it turns out when Detective Kristen and Detective Morrison made love, she took the key to the safe and ran away with the money that was there. So that's why Detective Morrison was arrested, not Detective Kristen. In the end, the mother and daughter get the $4 million. And the movie Wild Things 3 2005 ends. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it. Please give me thumbs up and click the subscribe button. See you on another video.